Hello, Reds! Get set for your daily dose of Manchester United updates. The banker behind Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Manchester United investment has insisted that the Qataris were very real as he opened up on the bidding war for the Red Devils. After months of wrangling and going head-to-head with Sheikh Jassim, the Ineos chief finally purchased 27.7% of the club in a deal worth $1.03 billion. The Qatari pulled out of the race after he was unable to agree a full takeover. Ratcliffe was recently quizzed about his battle with Sheikh Jassim after the deal was finally rubber-stamped, and he cheekily joked that his rival does not exist. The British billionaire responded with a cheeky dig, saying, "Still nobody's ever seen him, actually. The Glazers never met him. I'm not sure he exists." However, Joe Ravitch is the co-founder and partner at the Rain Group. The bank who brokered the deal says that the Middle East bidder was very real. The 62-year-old New Yorker is a former journalist before becoming a merchant banker, and he has been involved in deals with Manchester City and Aston Villa previously. The Manhattan-based bank he works for was then appointed by Roman Abramovich to sell Chelsea in 2022. Just months after they finally completed the deal to sell the Blues to Todd Boehly and Clearlake, they were hired by the Glazers to sell United. Now he has opened up on that process during an interview with The Times, and he is adamant that both Ratcliffe and the Qataris were very much in the running. Ravitch said, "We met Jassim. He was in New York. He's a lovely guy, a very smart guy. The Qataris were very real. They were very smart guys, very thoughtful. I don't know why they didn't appreciate the value of the club, but we were not their advisor. We tried as the seller to explain the value to them, and they put what they thought was a series of very serious bids on the table. The offer made was not enough," as Ravitch explained. "My clients, the Glazers, are also smart guys. We thought the value would be around $6.5 billion, about $5 billion, so we were kind of spot on with regards to where Ratcliffe ended up. But when the Washington Commanders NFL team went for $6 billion, we all thought, well, United is the most important sports team in the world. More than 1 billion fans. The Commanders own 1/32 of the NFL. Their economics are severely limited by the commercial sharing caps placed on it by the league. We know that because the Glazers also own an NFL team. Therefore, if someone is willing to pay $6 billion for the Commanders, someone should be willing to pay more for United. I think the Qataris got to about $575 billion. We said to them, 'You're within 10%. Why don't you get in a room and try to get to a deal?' But they said no. I think they were very conscious of criticism if they were seen to be overpaying. Ultimately, we think they would have been good owners, but we think the Glazers made the right decision not to take the lesser value and go with Ratcliffe instead. Again and again. Manchester United are beginning to formulate transfer plans for the summer window, with defense a key priority. This summer, every senior defender on Manchester United's books will be 30 or over, with the one exception being Lisandro Martinez, who has missed almost the entire season due to injury. It is becoming clear that center-back is a position which is a big priority, with names like Antonio Silva and Jean-Claire Todibo in the mix. Another emerging option is Everton center-back Gerard Branthwaite, who impressed supporters in United's win over the Toffees at Old Trafford this past weekend. Gerard Branthwaite transfer value. Gerard Branthwaite, 21, is regarded as a future England international and has played a key role for Everton this season. The towering defender is now said to be high on Manchester United's transfer list, with the Mirror claiming he is a priority target. The difference in valuation is a problem, with Everton looking for as much as $75 million. It is reported Manchester United will push to drive Branthwaite's price down towards $50 million. United have had some success with this lately. While $55 million looks excessive for Mason Mount now considering his injury problems, at the start of the summer, Chelsea wanted $80 million, TalkSport claimed. Everton are likely to have to make some kind of concession on price, as they are struggling with financial issues, which has seen them incur points deduction this season. Branthwaite branded Monster Premier League legend Ian Wright spoke highly of Gerard Branthwaite last month, impressed by his performances. He told the Righty's House podcast, "I believe now he will be in the next England squad. He has got everything. You watch how he plays. Left-sided as well, he plays out well, very brave. And then when you listen to his interview, he sounds like somebody who is like, yeah, I'm there, I'm here. He should be called up, and not only that, he should be played. Let's have a look at him. I'm telling you, we have a monster on our hands at left-sided canter half. A monster. Branthwaite could flourish at Manchester United, but does need a reasonable price tag. Arriving as a 75 million won't help him, especially if he is not a regular starter right away. United won't be held to ransom by Everton either. Branthwaite will be on a list of targets, and if no agreement can be found on price, the Red Devils will simply look elsewhere. Moving on. Why does Sir Jim Ratcliffe want a new Old Trafford for Manchester United? Old Trafford has been neglected by the Glazer family, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants a new Old Trafford. Standing in the Old Trafford press conference room in January, Sir Jim Ratcliffe was asked for his first impressions of the stadium. He declined to comment, but the body language was telling. Ratcliffe was more candid at the Ineos office in Knightsbridge 2 weeks ago. Old Trafford is run down and neglected in places. He opined knocking it down and rebuilding it is a no-brainer. United were established as Newton Heath, but they will be remaining in Trafford. The Manchester Evening News revealed last month the club could play games without having to move to another stadium, as the site footprint is large enough to accommodate building a new Old Trafford while safely hosting matches at their home since 1910. Ratcliffe believes a large amount of land United own around Old Trafford is underused and could be repurposed for housing, leisure, business, and education to drive investment and jobs in the area. The Ineos chairman added, "The museum is crap and the megastore is too small." United moved their club shop into the stadium in 2000, and it was the biggest in Europe at the time. Ratcliffe knows United have stood still on the Glazer family's watch. United maintain they have the capacity to arrange their own funding for a phased redevelopment of Old Trafford, but Ratcliffe is seeking financial support from funding partners. A club source stressed they are not looking for handouts, but mentioned opportunities for public-private partnership to drive a wider regeneration that extends to transport infrastructure. Ratcliffe met members of United fan groups shortly after his 27.7% stakeholding was confirmed on Christmas Eve, and he has held several rounds of meetings about Old Trafford. United will continue to consult fan and community leaders, as well as local residents. Duncan Drasdo, a member of the Fans Advisory Board and chief executive of the Manchester United Supporters Trust, and Tom Ross, the leader of Trafford Council, are both members of the task force. Please subscribe and turn on notification for more Manchester United updates.